Happy Sabbath.
Hi guys.
How are you? I can't hear you. Oh, we're being on film again.
Yeah,
We're gonna sing some songs.
we
You've
are.
come to expect that, I hope.
Some glasses on so we can see.
We're gonna sing about all God's creatures got a place in the choir. Remember that song? I sure hope you do. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and pause for everything they got now. Listen to the bass, it's the one on the log where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with the big kazoo, and the old cow just goes moo. Moo. They take off the middle while the honeybee hums and the cricket fills. The donkey brays and the pony neighs and the old coyote howls. Ow! Listen to the drop where the little birds sing on the melodies with the high notes ringing. The hoot owl calls over everything and the jaybird disagrees. Squawk, squawk, squawk. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day. Little duck quacks and he's on his way. The possum ain't got so much to say, and the porcupine talks to himself. It's a simple song, weird song everywhere, where the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hawk above, the sly raccoon and the turtle dove. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or pause for anything they got now. That's a good start to Sabbath School. Bet you're all jealous of my hat. I don't know that it's really masculine. It's got a bow on it, but I put that in the back. But this hat is awesome for weather like this. It is from our friend Niradzo, or Niari, from Zimbabwe. She brought it.
She did.
And I don't think she gave it to me, but
I got a yellow hat and Miss Judy got an orange one.
This will cover your shoulders nearly too.
Yeah, might work for an umbrella.
Good.
It's a pretty good hat.
That's quite the hat.
I love that hat.
Ooh, we did this song for our Bible story. You know what that is? Have you ever seen the little things God has made? Fascinating creatures on flower and blade. Just take a look, they're on parade. It's the itsy bitsy creatures that God has made. Have you ever seen a little ant walking in the line? Keeping so busy with the one-track mind. Lesson we learn from the little ant is we never say never and we never say can't. It's we never say never and we never say can't. Have you ever seen a butterfly flitting about? Checking bright colors going in and out. The lesson we learn from the butterfly is the beauty we see as the days go by. It's the beauty we see as the days go by. Have you ever seen a honeybee working the flower, buzzing around for hours and hours? The lesson we learn from the honeybee is the way she's working with the family. It's the way she's working with the family. Have you ever seen a firefly shine so bright, blinking its light all through the night? The lesson we learn from the firefly is the love we share with those who pass by. It's the love we share with those who pass by.
Did you swallow the firefly?
I think so. Is it glowing right there? Whew.
Let's start here.
The lesson we learn will never die. Fade itsy bitsy creatures, the itsy bitsy creatures, the itsy bitsy creatures that God has made.
There's some itsy bitsy creatures out there
I got
right
one in
now.
my throat, I think.
Not this kind, I hope.
Oh.
The itsy bitsy creatures you guys need to look out for right now are ticks. They're out and about. Ew. Yuck.
So what are we sitting in the middle of?
Well, they probably can't see them.
They probably can't see. What do these look like?
Have you guys been thinking about planting? Has anybody started planting their garden?
Seed packets.
We have lots and lots of seeds.
This is lettuce.
And here's some
This is
dill.
basil.
More
These
basil.
are zinnias.
Oh, here's some black turtle beans.
And here's some eggplant.
Oh,
those are cucumbers.
Here is some.
And in case you don't have enough color in your life, it's a huge bag of cosmos seeds.
Are those cosmos?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think these are zinnias.
Okay, we're not going to show them everything. But the grandfather of all of them is our bag of cilantro seed.
It's a little on the ridiculous
I
side.
think we could plant an
For
acre.
the record, he got it.
I think I could plant an acre of cilantro with
I
that.
think that you could.
Have you ever eaten a nasturtium?
Do cows eat cilantro?
I don't know, we might find out.
We've got enough. We could probably plant a pasture.
So,
The story that you guys are going to hear today is about a farmer.
a farmer who started tearing down a barn, like me,
Oh,
to build another one.
but different. Like you, but different, I hope.
Oh yes, very different. Because when I build my barn, or somebody else builds it,
However it may
I'm
be.
not gonna relax and say, oh, I'm gonna have it easy. Because I've heard this story before, and I don't want to end up like that guy.
Well, the other truth is that if you are really a farmer, it is never easy. But it's satisfying.
I haven't found any life that's easy.
No, me either.
I think somebody else's life must be easier than mine, and then I find out more about them, and I say, I wouldn't want to swap with them.
No,
I'm happy for my life.
everyone struggles, but we all have the opportunity to have help from the same God.
Yep, he's promised to never give us more than we can handle. So, memory verse, did any of you memorize it this week? It's a long time ago. But it says Matthew 16:26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Let's do that again. You say it along with me, okay?
Okay.
Oh, her eyes just got big.
For
Oh.
what shall it profit a man
For what shall it profit a man
if he shall gain the whole world but lose
and lose his own
and
soul?
lose his own soul?
Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Yeah, you want to make sure that you go to heaven. And you know what? I think that if you give your heart to Jesus, there's no chance you won't.
Nope.
Because he knows his own and he will save you. So we're going to let this go into, we have my dad and mom, I think they were doing something with chickens.
Chickens.
I can't do a rooster. But I think roosters say hallelujah. Hallelujah! Anyway, and that's what I hear when I hear them at 3 in the morning. A bunch of hallelujahs. And then we have Anika doing a thing.
Anika's doing an activity.
And Karina's doing the last story in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So next week we have something else coming.
And we don't know what it is yet, but it'll be good.
Do we know it'll be good?
I know it'll be good. I know the people who are doing it.
Oh, because Karina's doing it and she always does a
Yeah,
good
she
job.
tells a good story.
So we're going to pray and
Start
get you
Sabbath
into
School.
your rest of your Sabbath school, and we'll see you at the end. Will you pray?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for these kids, and we thank you for Sabbath and for Sabbath School. And I pray that you will teach us today, and that we will have a good day, and that we will see the lessons, and that we will apply them to our lives. We want to live for you. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, see you at the end.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for another story from our parables from the Bible. As I got ready to share our story today, I got to thinking about what are the things that make me happy. Sometimes I think it's chocolate. Chocolate is so yummy. But you know what I've noticed? That when I open the chocolate and I take it out of its wrapper, it smells so good and I feel so happy. And then, oh, that's yummy. Oh, I feel so happy eating it. But you know what I notice? That when I'm finished eating the chocolate bar, my happiness with the chocolate, it ends. And that's kind of sad. And it reminds me of the rich farmer. He thought that if he could have this and if he could have that it would make him very, very happy one day. Let me share that story with you. The rich farmer. Here is a farmer who is very rich. The farmer is rich because his soil is rich, and his corn grows faster than anyone else's. At harvest time, he has more of it than anyone else. Oh, what a lucky man. This year, he has so much corn that his old barn can't hold it all, and it is bursting at the seams. Can you see the corn falling out through the doors and in the cracks? He even had to board up the loft and board up the windows to keep his corn inside. He has so much corn. No problem, says the farmer. I will pull it down and I will build a bigger one. The next year I will be rich enough to take life easy. Next year I'll be happy. So he builds himself a bigger barn. But when the harvest comes round again, oh no, the barn is not big enough. The greedy farmer has planted more corn than he did last year, and he even grew some carrots too. No problem, says the farmer. I will build an even bigger barn. It will be bigger and better. Then next year, I will be richer still. And then, when I'm richer, then I will really enjoy myself. So he builds a bigger, better barn. But at harvest time, even the bigger, better barn is not big enough. Again, the farmer has planted too much corn, too many carrots, and a few cabbages as well. He's a bit greedy. Don't know that he needs all those things. This time the farmer says to himself, I will build the biggest, grandest barn that the world has ever seen. And then I shall be so rich that I will never need to work again, and then I will be happy. The barn he builds reaches up to the sky. When it is finished, the farmer sighs a great big sigh. Tomorrow I will gather in the harvest, and then I will begin to enjoy myself. I know, I'll have a party to celebrate, and I'll be so happy then. But that very night he dies, oh dear, in his sleep, just like that. The birds eat his corn. The rabbits dig up his carrots. And his cabbages go to seed. The big barn stands empty, and the rich farmer never does get to enjoy his money. Poor man. Jesus says how silly it is for a man to spend his whole life storing up riches for himself. To God, that kind of person is a really poor man. You know, that man seemed to have everything that he could want, but he was never happy and he never had enough. He was poor in his heart. He had everything except for true happiness. And sometimes we can be like that man. We might say, oh, if I could just get another beautiful dress or some more nice clothes, then I'll be happy. Or we say to ourselves, oh, if I could just buy another game, then I'll be happy. Oh, I know what I need. I need another stuffed toy. Then I'll be happy. That didn't work. Oh, I know what will make me really, really happy. If I have more money. But that doesn't make us truly happy inside. The happiness doesn't last. Maybe if I listen to some really good music. Oh yeah, I'm happy. Oh, but it doesn't last. All of those things bring us a little bit of happiness while it lasts, but it doesn't give us real happiness. You know what I've discovered, boys and girls? The more that I read about Jesus and learn about him, and the more often that I talk to him as my friend, and the more that I give my heart to Jesus and say, Jesus, I belong to you, then I truly have happiness. And that happiness is eternal happiness. It will last forever. And listen to this Bible verse, boys and girls. It says, you make known to me the path of life. You, Jesus, fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. Psalm 16, verse 11. I hope that you will choose to tell Jesus that your heart belongs to him and that you will find your true happiness in Jesus, and that you will share your toys with others and be kind. that you will share your money with others and be like Jesus, that you will encourage other people to read their Bibles and to spend time praying to Jesus. That's where true happiness comes from, being close to Jesus and having Him in your heart. And when He's in your heart, being kind to other people. And that's what will bring you true happiness and joy that will last now and into eternity when you spend eternity with Jesus. Bye, boys and girls.
How's it coming over there? Anything? No? Oh, shh. A worm grunting. Have you ever worm grunted before? We're gonna strike it rich. We're gonna become worm farmers. Okay, so I don't know if this worm grunting thing really works, but because worms don't have ears, they are alerted by vibration. Or eyes. They hear vibration. And when they hear the vibration, they come to the surface because they think there's a mole after them. But I haven't seen any worms come to the surface, have you?
Because
Oh, we haven't stomped our feet enough. Well, anyway, so we think we're gonna strike it rich. Do you know why? 2 reasons. One, we can sell worms for worm bait. Or what's the other thing we can sell? Anything? Worm poo. What's worm poo called, Leslie?
I knew it.
No, castings. Worm poo is called castings, and it enriches the soil and it's very expensive. So we thought maybe if we get enough worms, we could be worm farmers and we can strike it rich and we can buy more and more and more of everything we want. That's what's important, right? No. The more we want is not the key. We can't take these earthly things with us to heaven, but we do take our character. And so it's very important to be the best we can be and to love God and the nature that He provides for us. He provides for everything that we need. Even thought of the earthworms and how they compost our stuff and put their nutrients right back into the soil. So it's not how much we have that really matters. God will always take care of our needs, even with the worms. So we got these worms here. Oh, they disappeared. And where'd Wesley go? My little helper disappeared. Oh, yeah, there's worms in there. Those are for worm fishing. And we were making a worm farm, so maybe you want to try and make a little worm farm. And I forgot to bring it. But you get a container, and you have to put some gravel down first, and then a layer of soil, a layer of sand, a layer of soil, sand and soil and leaves and compost and stuff. And you have to keep it a little bit moist because the worms need moistness to breathe because they breathe through their skin, but not too moist. Anyway, so maybe you want to make a little worm farm. You might want to get that approved for your parents first. And thought that would be a fun craft. And I actually have some other crafts for you. So give me just a minute. We're going to hit pause and we'll go hit some other crafts. Hey guys, so we're back. And I don't know if you noticed, but our creature feature is the worm this week. So one activity you can try to do, and I want to know if you get it to work. Yeah, 1 second. See if you can get worm grunting to work for you. And look it up if you don't know what it is. You gotta put a stick in the ground and you gotta do something to make that stick vibrate. And the worms are supposed to come up out of the ground. And the best time I heard to do it is early in the morning or late at night. So let me know if that works for you. And that'd be cool. I haven't got it to work for me yet. I don't know if I'm not doing it right. And, should we do suction cup next? So, last week, if you watched the creature feature, we were trying to catch frogs, but we were not successful. We caught tadpoles. But this week, the frog caught us. He was right on our porch. Come look at a suction cup.
I'll open this.
You want to open it there or here?
That's better.
Suction cup is a type of tree frog. And he was just hanging out on our doorstep. Not sure. He must have been lost or something. You want to pick him up? See, Wesley is afraid to pick him up because he always pees on Wesley. That's his defense.
Let me have a word.
Okay, no. Okay. Are you going to pick him up? There he is.
Hey.
Ooh, he's so cute. You're not afraid of him. Are you? Okay, anyway, back this way. Anyway, that's suction cup. We're going to let him go. So back to the worm creature feature. So we had a couple things we thought about doing, and see if this works for you. You got to get a piece of tissue paper, and it's about a 6" by 6" roughly. This isn't quite that. And you roll it up like on a straw or a pencil or something. And I figured if you roll it too tight, it's hard to make it work. But if you get it rolled just right, and then you squish it down off the straw, kind of like you're taking the paper off a straw. And you go like that. And then you take just a dab of water, and you go like this, and you have a growing worm. Right, Wes? See how it's growing? You want to do it? So you got to put your finger on top of the straw, and then there, and don't let it go until you get the water over here. Yeah, get it on a piece that's not wet yet. Right on the tail of it. Right here. Oops, you let the water go too soon.
It's
Yeah? Is your finger on? Okay, let go. Oh! Okay, I'll hold it. Put your finger on top. Okay, now go over here and let go. Oh, there, look at that tail grow.
what?
So you can make a little growing worm. And then we had another worm activity. I forgot to tell you, this is our worm farm. So you have to put a little bit of gravel on the bottom, and it goes dirt and sand and dirt and sand and dirt, and then you put some compost leaves and stuff, and you gotta make sure it's a little bit moist, and then you can add your worms to it. See, we got worms in there somewhere. Oops, here, I don't know, can you see the worms in there? Those are worms. Look at those are fishing worms. Hey Wesley, come here. We gotta do the worm race. Come here. Okay, so, you got worm grunting, you got a worm farm, you got a growing tissue worm, and then we have little inchworm craft. And so you take this, it's about 6 inches long, 1 inch wide, and you fold it in half, but then you open it back up. You fold it in half again. Fold it in half again. Do the same on the other side. There, here.
Let's give that guy some fresh air.
Yeah, right. And then you just make a little bit of a rounded cut on the end. Rounded cut on the end. That. And then you open it up. Like so. Alright. And then after this we have to show them. And you can draw a little face on him if you want.
Let me blow him.
Hold on. Okay.
Um,
Alright, so
they
then you
like
get a
this
straw.
thing.
Oh. Actually, it works if you blow them like that. But if you have a
Mommy.
straw, and you blow on the center of them. Oh, my worm's stuck. Well, it really actually works really good if you get it just right. Anyway, what happened to your worm? He's not working either. Anyway, if you blow right here, and you can have little worm races like that. That's kind of fun. Okay, so one more thing, one more good use of worms. If you're lost out in the forest and you're super hungry, you can eat worms. They're full of protein. Wait, we haven't even showed you how to eat them. So here we are. There you go. Here, I'll hold them. Ooh, he just fell in. Here, open away before he gets away from me. Oh, Wesley loves worms. Ooh, Did you touch the frog? I'm not touching that. Here, put that right there. Wait, I need a worm too. They're really tasty. Okay, don't go eat worms. They're not tasty. These are a special edible worm.
No.
No? And I'm going to try to get a recipe on our website so you can make your own edible worms.
Dirt.
Oh, and you can make the dirt. So have a happy Sabbath. Enjoy God's creation. Remember that it's not how much you have of something that really matters, because you can't take it with you to heaven. And go out, make yourself a worm farm, try some worm grunting, see if you can get some worms to come up out of the earth. You can make some edible worms, you can make some inchworms to race, or a little tissue worm, and you're good to go. Have a happy Sabbath and enjoy God's second book of nature. Love you.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a pleasant Sabbath day and a good day of rest. We're very fortunate to have one day in a week to meet, especially with the Lord. Today I want to talk a little bit about chickens. As you can see, I've got one here, one of Peter's chickens. He really ought to be talking about these. But anyway, I'd like to specifically talk about feathers more today. Birds have feathers. You don't find feathers on people. You don't find them on fish or cows or things like that. But feathers are made of cuticle, which is the same as our fingernails. And I'd like to show you a big feather. See this one? This is off from a turkey. And it's considerably bigger. And I want to specifically point out on feathers how they stick together. They're sort of like the veins here come out. They're like Velcro, and you see how these tear apart. And if a bird is cleaning herself, preening as we call it, she's usually running these through her beak to get them lined up again so that they'll go back together if they are separated. You can see some of them here, they separate, but they will go back. They're just like little hooks here, like Velcro. This is the primary feather. In other words, it is one of the big feathers on the chicken's wing. Well, that one happens to come from a turkey, but this, see, now see, this would be from the primary feather on the chicken, is these long ones out at the end of their arm. And then the secondary ones are the ones back toward the body, which are shorter. Where's the other one? Okay. This feather here is a secondary feather, I think. Now, on a small chicken, it could be fairly strong. But notice the fluff at the bottom here by my thumb. Now, that's for insulation. And it doesn't have the hooks and so forth like the other feathers do, or the other barbs do. So anyway, there are different kinds of feathers, but they all have basically the same purpose. They are to help the bird fly. They act as insulation. And they're constantly changing. Some birds molt once a year, some twice a year, but some of them even 3 or 4 times a year, depending on the species and what their needs are. Now, a molt is when they lose their feathers. They don't lose them all at once. They'll lose equal a number on, say, the left side as the right side. Otherwise, if they tried to fly, they'd fly in circles or make them unbalanced. Now, this bird here, besides her primary and secondary feathers, notice all these on her chest. These are more downy type of a feather. So you see they're very, very short, but they're all a lot of fluff. This is what part they would make feather pillows out of, or something like this. Now, why do they molt? Well, they molt largely because they're worn out. You know, you take a bird that does a lot of flying or working in, say, in brush or something, these feathers wear out fairly quickly. And it takes energy. It takes energy to grow new ones, just like it would take energy for you to grow feathers or whatever on your body, or skin or fingernails. It takes energy. And so if they're using a lot of energy to raise chicks or something like that, this energy, they may be losing the feathers just to divert the energy to something else. Now, of course, when a bird in the wild loses its feathers and can't fly, it's very vulnerable to other things that would want to catch it. Generally, chickens or birds in the wild would molt after they've completed their laying their eggs in the say spring with robins or something like this, or they would again molt in the fall. Now, if a bird has different colorations, like say goldfinch, the male goldfinch is bright yellow during the mating season, and by August, September, he doesn't want to be bright and shiny. He wants to be dull and be able to be hidden. So he will molt more often, perhaps, say, than the female. In the Bible, we have birds mentioned quite often. Of course, in Genesis, first chapter, in verse 20, it talks where God made the birds in the air. This would be in day 5, I believe. In Matthew 6:26, Christ said, "Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor they reap." God's taking care of these birds. And that's the way He does it, is to take care of us, and we're to have comfort that He will take care of us. In Deuteronomy 22:6, it tells us, if we find a bird that's on the nest, say out in the wild, you better leave it alone. You can take the bird, but you got to be careful of the chicks and the eggs and so forth. So you have to have compassion for the birds as they come. In Job 12:7, he says, "Ask the beasts and they will teach you, and the birds of the heavens they will tell you." So there are a lot of lessons that we can learn from birds and from the animals that God has created out there. In Matthew 10:29, he says, "Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? God will care for you too." So he places a value upon us more than just sparrows. Anyway, I hope that you learn from nature in various ways, and I hope you'll become acquainted with animals, and I hope you won't stress them like I am this chicken. Anyway, let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we turn to you knowing that you offer so much for us. And we do pray that you will be here in our needs. You've provided us with food and shelter. You've provided us with the necessities of life and much more. But because you've offered us eternal life with you, may we be faithful, looking for that in these days. Thank you in thy name. Amen. Well, have a great day.
Well,
we are back.
And I hope you loved Sabbath School.
I bet you did. I know all the key players. So, we're going to sing a song. Get your high voices out.
Get your mouse voice out.
Your mousy voice.
It's not the Mimi song, though.
Ha! Are you humbly grateful or grumbly hateful? What's your attitude? Do you grumble and groan, or let it be known you're grateful for all God's done for you? When Jonah found himself in the belly of the whale, did he cause a lion inside? No! He had to go ashore with his message from God, and he thanked the Lord for the free ride.
Free ride.
Are you humbly grateful or grumbly hateful? What's your attitude? Do you grumble and groan, or let it be known you're grateful for all God's done for you? When Noah found himself in the floating zoo, did he ever try to jump ship? No! For 40 long days and for 40 long nights, he cleared the deck of that long trip.
Long trip.
P.U. Which one are you? Are you humbly grateful or grumbly hateful? What's your attitude? Do you grumble and groan, or let it be known you're grateful for all God's done for you?
What are you grateful for?
I have many things to be grateful for. We got our first cutting in this week, baleage and haylage. We got all the manure on the ground and plowed in. we got a good crop. We got the cover on the bunker silo. We were all kept safe. All of our equipment made it long enough to get done. Some of the stuff's busted, just plain broke. And I have a good wife. I have fabulous children and a fabulous wife. And I have a great church family. And I think that this world's getting bit by bit better on the whole COVID thing, so I'm getting bit by bit closer to being able to see you guys in person, throw my arms around you and
Whoa.
squeeze you until you go,
I'm grateful you didn't whack me in the chops. That
Yeah.
was close. You know what? I saw it today. I saw a little baby hummingbird, and that made me very excited.
is it a baby hummingbird or
No,
a full
it's
grown
full
one?
grown, but it looks like a baby.
Yeah. And
I'm thankful for our dogs.
I love my dogs. I took Poppy with me to Keene today, and then over to Hinsdale.
She's a black dog, and she loves to lay in the sun.
She sat up in the front of that truck and looked at everything, just like probably the most interested human I've ever seen. She watched squirrels, she watched dogs, just really sat
Like,
right
oh,
up
I
there.
guess we're gonna see some stuff today.
She puts her head back and just looks. I wonder what goes through her brain.
Lots of stuff. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sabbath day, and I hope you get to go outside and do some fun stuff.
We always want you to go outside, even if it's raining.
Even if it's raining, jump in a puddle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roll in the mud.
Oh, ask Mom first. Are you trying
Where
to
the
get
towels
them?
are. I'm always trying to get them in trouble.
Don't always listen to his advice. Always ask your mom first.
Oh, hey, before we sign off, we have a new memory verse. It is Matthew 20, verse 27. Okay, this is one, this kind of changes things, like the tone of what we're doing right now. But one of the things that we have in our world is people always trying to be in charge. And Jesus showed us something different. He showed us how to be a servant. And he was a servant leader. And he is legitimately the God of the universe, but he is in charge. And so Matthew 20, verse 27 says, "And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant." Jesus also said somewhere else, whoever is first, puts themselves first, will be last, but whosoever is last will be made first. And so in this service-oriented kingdom, it's based on love. And it's something that Jesus himself obviously did by coming to this earth and even dying for us.
Be a helper.
So Matthew 20, verse 27 for this week. And for those of you who see us on our Bible stories, we'll see you tomorrow morning. If not, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.